Hey friends, welcome to Homestead on the Hill. As I have been taking you guys along on my gluten-free sourdough journey for the second time, you guys have had great questions and of course you've wanted to start your own gluten-free starter. So that is exactly what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna get you all set up so that you can start baking gluten-free sourdough on your own. All right, so let's get started with showing you what you'll need to build your starter. And I am using a digital kitchen scale here. That is truly optional. It really does help in the land of sourdough to be more accurate, but you can certainly get started without, but I would recommend getting one down the road. I can link one in the description, similar to probably what I have, but you can really use any digital kitchen scale. Then we're going to use a clean glass jar. I am using a pint jar here for purposes of showing you, but I typically keep my starter in a quart jar like this. As we have this here, I will show you a layer of cheesecloth. You could also utilize even a paper towel or an old clean t-shirt cut off, and then just a ring or a band to keep that fastened on so that the gas can let out, but you are not letting any junk in. That is what you'll need. And then you are going to need for ingredients, gluten-free flour. So I am building my starter using brown rice flour. You could use a variety of different gluten-free flours, but I have really liked utilizing the brown rice flour. I get mine from Azure Market. If you've never shopped with Azure Standard before and you want to learn more about shopping with them, I will also link that in the description. Then the last ingredient you're going to need is water. So let's get started building your starter. For the first day here, we're going to take our clean glass jar. We're going to add a quarter cup of brown rice flour. Now a quarter cup for me of my brown rice flour is 37 grams. Then we're going to add in a quarter cup of water. And this actually works out well because a quarter cup of water is a little bit more than 37 grams of flour, and I find that works best. So, and it looks like we have 48 grams of water, which is pretty near perfect because you want a little bit more water, or at least I have found I needed a little bit more water with this brown rice flour that I'm using to get a good consistency of my starter. So we had 37 grams of flour and 48 grams of water. And we're gonna mix this together. And you can see the consistency that it's starting to build here. I like a thick pancake batter consistency, or just a little bit thicker than that. So there is our starter, or the start of our starter. Now we're gonna tuck this away, cheesecloth on top. And we're gonna let this set for at least 24 hours. You can stir it once or twice within that 24-hour period, but we are gonna let this just sit and ferment. So what we are looking for is to start getting little active bubbles in it. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see in this starter or not. There are this one was just fed not too long ago. So there are just tiny little bubbles starting in there. And any sign of bubbles is going to tell you that your starter is starting to activate. Those yeast are starting to do their job. Once that has happened, then we're going to come back and we are going to feed this starter again. We're not going to discard any of it. We're going to feed this starter again with 1/8 a cup of flour and 1/8 a cup of water. So in terms of weight, I would say 20 grams of flour and about 25 grams of water. Give that a stir and let it sit again for another 12 to 24 hours until you see it bubbling and active again. And then you're gonna give it another feeding. I'm going to include in the description below a little bit of the science on how this ferment is working so that you have a better understanding of how your feedings need to work. Then once you have a nice bubbly starter, you can start utilizing your starter and discarding some if you need to make the bread recipe that you desire. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, I would so appreciate if you would hit subscribe and drop your questions in the comment section below and come back for more gluten-free sourdough recipes.